Honestly, I wasn't even planning on making another video so soon, but you know what, NeoGAF, you fucking pissed me off. So you know what? You're going to get the young hero roasting treatment. And honestly, I'm not going to be so merciful. I'm not going to hold anything back. So let's get into it. This is a tale of dissenting opinions, wrongful accusations, and outright censorship. Let me tell you the story of how I got permabanned. Now, a while ago, or more specifically an hour ago, I was permabanned from NeoGAF.com. Now you may wonder why I was permabanned. Well, it's because of the new Ghostbusters movie. Oh my god. It's such a shocker, right? Such a surprise, right? Now, the context behind all of this is the fact that the review embargo for the Ghostbusters reboot lifted today, and so far the reviews have been, okay. Not great, but not the complete disaster that we all thought it was going to be. Although we all need to wait until the reviews stabilize before we get a greater picture of its opening weekend box office prospects. But really, that's not what this video is about. What it's really about, like I said before, is about censorship. So here's what happened. In the Ghostbusters review thread, I saw numerous comments of people trying to spotlight anybody that doesn't paint this movie in the most positive light as an MRA, as a misogynistic man-child. And as somebody that has logic and common sense, this greatly irked me. So I decided to give my honest opinion. Now, everybody knows the social progressive side of NeoGAF is one of the most cancerous places on the internet. In fact, that's been pretty well documented for years, right? So, but I figured that maybe, just maybe, if I approached the situation as nicely as I could and tried to throw in some logic and common sense, that maybe I would get some people on my side. Well, I clearly thought wrong. I tried to pretty much say that people's problems with the movie were not because of sexism, were not because of the fact that it has an all-female cast. It was because of the fact that the movie looks like absolute dog shit. Or, to be specific, the trailers made the movie look like absolute dog shit. And the fact that it had an all-female cast were the least of people's concern about the movie. And one of these just asshats, one of these fucking retards, tried to tell me and say, oh, but the hatred around this movie has always been about sexism. I'm serious. That's what one of these people tried to tell me. And they posted a link to a Hollywood Reporter article of the reboot being announced, and only pointing out all of the sexist, misogynistic comments, which I'll admit are pretty fucking dumb and pretty just ridiculous. But the problem I have with it is the fact that the detractors, the ones that have legitimate criticism, didn't start coming out about the movie until the first trailer was released back in March. The problem I have with this is the fact that they're trying to lump in the people who are actually being sexist and misogynistic in with the ones who actually have legitimate criticisms and are actually critical of the movie because it looks like a shitty movie, right? And so I tried to explain this. And I even said that, listen, if you like Ghostbusters and can find some enjoyment out of it, that's totally okay. That's great, you know? But I also implored them to not go and attack people and call them MRAs and call them misogynistic man-babies simply because they express a dissenting opinion you don't agree with. Because not only is that childish and moronic, but when you do that, you prove to be no better than the small minority of people that simply hate Ghostbusters because it has women in it. We could not have this. This is a travesty. And the small minority of Gamergate supporters who hate women because of the fact that, yeah, women are nothing but bitches, sluts, and whores. Yeah, let's go after these bitches. Women suck. All they're good for is sucking dick and cooking dinner, you know? Because that is totally unfair. And not only that, it's completely misleading and quite honestly hypocritical. It's extremely hypocritical. And I got into it with various other people who tried to tell me otherwise, that tried to tell me that it's all about sexism. It's all about sexism. And honestly, I was about to abandon the thread like a rock. I really was, because I saw it was going absolutely nowhere, and that I was not going to get through to these asshats. It's like trying to talk to a wall. It just doesn't work. But until I saw this one comment by one of these just intolerable cunts talking shit about Mundane Matt, and I'm pretty sure you all know who Mundane Matt is. And he said this, and I quote, "If there's anyone that's the king of sexist attacks, it's Mundane Matt." And why were they saying Mundane Matt was sexist, you may ask? Well, because he's been highly critical of the Ghostbusters movie. He's been one of the numerous people that say the movie looks like absolute dog shit. But apparently, because we live in this entirely PC culture, and since you cannot express any sort of dissenting opinion on the social progressive side of NeoGAF, he was called a sexist. He's clearly sexist for showcasing his opinion. He was totally sexist. And I called him out on it. I responded to the commenter and said, listen, just because he says something you don't like, just because he says something you don't agree with, does not make him sexist. You know? Why get so personal over somebody giving an opinion on a movie you haven't seen? And, oh my god. I gotta tell you, this is probably one of the stupidest comments I've ever read on the internet. This is what one of these guys literally told me. But Mundane Matt's sexism has been well documented for years, and he's a proud gamer gay member. Literally, that was their excuse. And on top of all of that, they did not provide any sort of evidence to prove that Mundane Matt was sexist. They were essentially attacking the guy, personally attacking the guy and slandering his character simply because they didn't like him, because they said things he didn't like. Honestly, the only thing that could honestly make people believe that Mundane Matt is sexist, that could paint him as being sexist, is a video he made where he literally admitted that he trolled a feminist on Tumblr just purely to piss them off, because it was fun. And even that's a joke. That's a joke, clearly a joke. But that's honestly the only thing that could make people believe that he is sexist. But what completely invalidates this argument is another video that Mundane Matt made in where he admitted that his whole approach to making videos was wrong. It made him seem very immature. It made him seem like an asshole. And since then, he's changed his entire approach to content making. He's more critical, he's more objective, he's more mature, he's more, he's more objective, right? I mean, he's more, I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean, right? I mean, and because of this changed approach, his videos are all the better for it. And if you haven't checked out his channel, please do. It's utterly fantastic. And I really love that because as a YouTube content creator, when your channel starts to become mildly successful, you change and evolve with the times. You change your entire approach for how you make content. You know? And I respect him greatly for that. But the hypocrisy when it comes to these social justice asshats is staggering. Because getting your panties in a bunch and personally attacking somebody and calling them an MRA, oh no! Because they gave an opinion on a movie and tore it apart for being a shitty movie, because that's their opinion, and then wrongfully attacking another guy, slandering his character and saying he's a sexist, all because he said things that I didn't like that hurt my feelings, so he must be sexist. Right? That's not sexist at all. No. And I can see these cunts typing, oh, that's not true at all. Reverse sexism totally doesn't exist. You can't be sexist towards men. You can only be sexist towards women. Bullshit. That is so fucking stupid that the earth would probably crack underneath its own weight with how stupid it is. Reverse sexism totally exists, my friends. It totally exists. And you know what? It is alive and well. That's not sexist according to these social progressive assholes. That's not sexist. But oh, daring to criticize women in any way and not painting the Ghostbusters reboot in anything but the most positive light, that's sexist. You're a sexist, misogynistic asshole, according to these people. After that, I got so mad that I just let them have it, knowing full well that I was going to get banned, and I saw the ban coming. I really did. But I basically let them have it, and I said, listen, just because somebody says something you don't like, just because somebody expresses a differing opinion from yours does not make them sexist. And I pointed out the hypocrisy in them being sexist towards males, but when somebody criticizes a woman in any way, no matter how well-reasoned or structured the argument is, that makes them sexist. It honestly just proves that what I said about the social progressive side of NeoGAF to be correct, that they are the epitome of hypocrisy. And I stand by that statement 100%. And I basically said that what the commenter was saying was one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever read. Because it truly was one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever read. And in my 21 years of existence, I've heard a lot of bullshit, so that's saying something. And to basically end the comment, just to piss them off even more and stick the knife in the wound, I said, do you literally stand behind what you're saying, or do you just look for ridiculous nonsense to be outraged about? And then I abandoned the thread because, honestly, I had no interest in engaging further with these sexist assholes. And honestly, I had said pretty much everything that I wanted to say. And then I refreshed the page a few minutes later, and lo and behold, I get permabans. Let me read it all to you, shall we? No thanks. Go find another forum to peddle this garbage. Date the ban will be lifted. Never. Utter, complete, gutter trash. Now, if you want to see how this entire exchange went down, I will leave a link in the description to the review thread so you can see all of it. My comments start on page 6, so if you dare want to go and read it so you can get context behind this whole situation, I implore you, please do that. And as you saw right there, this is pretty much how they treat their user base. This is how they treat anybody that has any sort of dissenting opinion, because if you don't follow with their ideology, if you don't follow their narrative, if you even slightly deviate from their whole hive mind mentality, you're going to be attacked. You're going to be either labeled a sexist or misogynistic or outright banned altogether. And you know what? This is complete censorship. Thorough censorship. This is fucking ridiculous. And honestly, considering how they treated me, simply for having an opinion, and considering how they've treated so many other users, I mean, just within the last few months, they've banned 2 people for having differing opinions. They banned this one guy for defending the whole Gamergate movement and trying to properly explain what it is, and then they banned another guy for disagreeing about Anita Sarkeesian. And by the way, those are both excellent videos, and I will leave links to their videos in the description down below so you can watch it. You know, and these are also the same people that banned Boogie2988 for simply supporting Gamergate. So NeoGAF is not really the site where differing opinions can thrive and everybody can be their own person. It's essentially a place where the mods and everyone else can just suck each other off and completely agree with all of their opinions, and nobody questions anything. Nothing. Because if you dare, just dare to go off course and criticize something or question something, you're going to get attacked. You're going to get banned. It's just not going to be a good time. And their whole definition of sexism is basically men who say things about women that they don't like, that they don't agree with, which honestly is offensive to the term sexism as a whole. That's what it really is. And the mods and everybody that inhabits the social progressive side of NeoGAF are nothing more than a bunch of cowering pussies that can't handle people challenging their ideology, that can't handle people having a different opinion. Oh, but you want to call me sexist? You want to call me a misogynist? You want to attack people like Mundane Matt and Reckless Eating for giving their opinions on a fucking movie you haven't seen yet because they're sexist. And if you criticize Ghostbusters, even if you have a good reason for doing so, then you're a sexist. Fuck you. Seriously. The mods and the people that silenced me, the people that lambasted me, go fuck yourselves. And honestly, you can take that permaban and stick it up your ass for all I care. Honestly. If you literally thought that you could silence me, that I would be done, that I wouldn't speak out about this, that you could preserve your precious little safe space, your precious little hug box. Good luck. Good fucking luck, you dumb cunts, you dumb pieces of shit. You're not gonna silence me in the least. And honestly, and this goes out to all the mods and everybody that silenced me. People like you are the reason why I do this show. I do it to lambast and expose pieces of shit like yourselves that silence people, that censor others, that try to completely eliminate criticism, that do shady and unethical shit. That is why I do this show. And honestly, you give me a great purpose for doing it, you fucking cunts. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry that I'm being so harsh for this video, because this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. And honestly, I implore all of you to make a big stink about this and get the word out. Mirror this video. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, fucking Tumblr, I don't care. Just share it anywhere, because we need to get the word out about this, because this is absolute bullshit. This is censorship, and I will not stand for this. This is not okay. I am not going to stand here and allow these social justice assholes, and that's what they are. I know you're going to get offended and say, we're not social justice warriors. You fucking are. You are social justice warriors. I'm not going to let them silence me. I'm going to expose them and spread the word. Please. And on top of that, and I normally wouldn't do this, but I think in this case it's more than justified, tweet at them, at NeoGAF, tweet at them, and ask them why they like to censor people. Just ask them why they like to censor people, because I would love to hear their response. Because I'm sure it would be great. Just utterly great. You know, because honestly, if this could happen to me, this could happen to anyone who just simply expresses an opinion. Just wow. I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm at a loss for words. I really, really am. You know, because I defend somebody that I genuinely like and think is awesome from claims of being a supposed sexist, because I know they're not true. And I basically outline why he isn't, because he's just giving his opinion, and I get banned for it. I get permabanned because they can't handle the truth, because they get so mad when you express a different opinion that they just hit the block button. Just completely hit the block button. And you know what? Just fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck you, NeoGAF. Fuck you. Honestly. The fact that you silence people that have a different opinion is utterly sickening. And honestly, since you don't mind permabanning me for having a different opinion, because how dare I have a different opinion, I hope you don't mind me, you know, putting out your dirty laundry, cleaning out the skeletons in your closet. Now, I'm pretty sure it's well documented at this point, but I think, and I mentioned this in a past video, but I think it's worth reiterating. The owner of their site, Tyler Malka, and there's evidence of this. This is not me talking out of my ass. I have evidence. I'll post the article in the description. He admitted to sexually harassing a woman on a trip to Spain, but he said it was okay because she consented, because apparently you can consent to having your ass touched. That is one of the most despicable things you can do to a woman. But that's apparently okay. Nobody ever speaks about it, and I know why. I know why. Because they would be instantly banned. So I find it entirely hypocritical that they are trying to speak for women as a whole when the owner of their own site did one of the most despicable things to do to a woman. You're not doing this to be progressive. You're not for women. Fuck you. Go fuck yourselves. You're not doing that. Because if you're so willing to not speak about the owner of your own site doing just despicable shit to a woman, then you honestly have no room to ever criticize anybody for talking about women, in my humble opinion. You know what? And that's just what it is. Again, if you want to read the article, please do. It's in the description down below. You know what? Honestly, I could go on for hours about how wrong all of this is, but honestly, I think I've made my point pretty clear. So I'm just going to end it here. This is ThatKidDouglas, aka the Unhero, signing out. Deuces. Stay frosty and keep it weird. I'll see y'all soon.